Hey everyone and welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the third episode of Disney Plus's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I am of course joined by my decent co-hosts Jake Preece and Jordan Green.
What? Oh! Great, can we do another one?
No,
do another one.
So that was another big episode, as is every episode so far, of course, and I'm sure all of them will be with the Disney Plus shows. We got to visit a brand new area for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that is Madrapore, which is, of course, an area from the comics that originated in an issue of The New Mutants, which is a kind of spin-off of the X-Men Mutants franchise. So that was very cool to see.
It's getting closer. They keep setting up a bunch of X-Men stuff or referencing a bunch of X-Men stuff. It's gonna come soon. It's getting there.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's like it's very much like a kind of den of crime. We get to see quite a bit of that in this episode that we get to spend there. And there's a lot of hints of like a lot of mentions of like how it was founded by pirates and things like that. Very weird.
I feel like a lot of the camera work as well. They in some parts they seem to be going all out.
Yeah, I mean, I know we talked about the cinematography a little bit in episode 1 as well, and how we thought it looked very different to the rest of the MCU. I didn't think that was really a thing so much in episode 2. That felt kind of a little generic in that way, which isn't a problem. It's not bad. But I think this episode really looked great, and I feel like it was shot very interestingly.
That's the segue for the being directed by the guy who did John Wick, Jordan.
Cool. Okay. Wow, you could almost say it was reminiscent of John Wick. I was really not into that. Alright.
I was so unenthusiastic.
Sorry.
Take 2.
Take 3. Viva Rock Vegas. Let's go. Okay.
Do the take!
Shit. And I found in this episode at least, it was quite reminiscent of John Wick in places. And that might be because this episode was written by the guy who wrote the John Wick movies.
You can really feel the John Wick. There's a couple plot elements that feel straight out of one of those movies. And we even get some really like John Wick-esque action with Sharon Carter, who is back for the first time since Civil War.
Oh yeah, her fight scene in this episode is great.
Kind of hand-to-hand combat with Sharon Carter is super cool. And as like, I know all three of us are massive John Wick fans. And you get real John Wick vibes from it, and it felt like all of that like choreography there honestly could have come from a John Wick film.
Well, we know now Sam has promised her he's going to try and get her a pardon from the US government as well. So
yeah, speaking of the US government, we also get to see a little bit more of the new Captain America as well, Wyatt Russell's Cap. Yeah, and I think every scene we see of him, we just like him less and less.
Is it just me, or every time I see the new Cap, I like him less and less, and I also like the American government that's being portrayed in Marvel less and less, and I'm kind of finding myself more sympathetic to the anarchy group.
Well, I would agree with that until the final scene in this episode, where Carly, who's the kind of like leader, I guess, of the Flag Smashers, she blows up a building full of people, and we see one of the other members of the Flag Smashers clearly is not okay with that.
Baron Zemo is in this episode a lot more, and they basically Falcon and the Winter Soldier broke him out of prison.
Yeah, he's in like his full comic outfit now. It looks so awesome. I'm so glad we finally got to see it. And it's really cool that we get to see so much development for that character. He's kind of turned into like a little bit of like an anti-hero now. Which, you know, could be some really good setup for the Thunderbolts, which is a group of characters we've been expecting to appear in the MCU for a while, and it does seem like they're building towards.
I know Craig's been waiting to see the Red Hulk, who was a part of the Thunderbolts team, on screen since his appearance in The Incredible Hulk, really. So
we've had General Ross in it since Incredible Hulk, and then when he like returned in Civil War, people were like, oh, it's gonna be Red Hulk, and we still have not gotten him.
Anyway, with the help of Zemo and a few other leads, they finally track down the guy in it who's been making the super soldier serum, and Zemo kills him. They get a bit of information out of him about Carly and the Flag Smashers and another new lead.
Yeah, I think that very much ties back, if we're looking at Zemo's character as well, into the fact that he hates superheroes, right? His whole thing in Civil War was trying to take them down because of the damage they've done and the kind of damaging icons they are, which is something that the series continues to address. Presumably, I guess he killed that guy because that person was going to create more super soldier serum and make more heroes. You know, even if like it wasn't the power broker who was doing that, someone would steal it, or if Sam and Bucky were successful, the US government could come in and take it.
And we also got a bit more confirmation that the super soldier serum did come from Isaiah Bradley when he was imprisoned. Because also, as it turns out, the Zemo is fucking stacked with money as well. Because you kind of forgot that his title is Baron Zemo, so he's fucking rich.
Yeah, he's rich. There's like this really cool butler character who, like, they go and take a flight at some point on one of his private jets, and he's just delightful. He's lovely. I love him. And then, near the end of the movie, we get a big reveal. Bucky finds little beads around the place, realizes he's being tracked, and he goes down a alleyway and finds Ayo, who is one of the guards in Wakanda. We've seen her before in Civil War and Black Panther and Infinity War, and she is there looking for revenge on Zemo, which of course makes a ton of sense. I mean, Zemo killed the old king of Wakanda, so it would make total sense that they'd want they'd want payback for that. And I think, as we learned in the Black Panther movie, they very much want that on their own terms. You know, they don't want the US government to get claw in that film, so why would they want the US government to have Zemo in this? So it's going to be interesting how she ties in, and I think it's going to be cool if we're seeing, of course, Black Panther is a lot about, does delve into race a little bit, and this series has dealt a lot with that so far. So it'll be interesting to see how she maybe ties into that message, and that kind of journey for Sam.